SCV pools. Well, if it's uThermal, then the chance of SCV pools increases manifold.
Manifold indeed. Oh, I love that word. That's a very nice sounding word. Okay, spawning in the bottom location we have from Team Mouse Control. It is the purple Protoss player, NEEK. And he's going to make the ultimate effort in order to defeat this guy from AT Gaming.
AT Gaming's uThermal, playing in the red color for this match, game I should say. And yeah, he is up 1-0. He just beats NEEK one more game and then it's done. He's off to the next game. That's what he's thinking right now. But maybe NEEK has some surprises up his sleeve, so you never know. But this is a best of 3 series, which is not a best of 5 or a best of 7. Best of 3s can be very short, as you can tell, because it could already be done after this game. So usually in best of 3s we don't see too wonky things, too tricky things that you might try in a longer series, maybe to throw your opponent off. But if they're very risky, then in a longer series you might want to take that risk, but in a very short series, not very often so. But then again, if NEEK feels that he is behind, and he's behind because he cannot beat uThermal in a straight-up game, NEEK might, you know, take his chances with very unorthodox strategies. We do see him scouting very early, but I don't think that those very unorthodox strategies are going to come into play this game.
No, I don't think so. PVT is, I'd say that's a pretty cookie-cutter matchup, as opposed to, for example, TVZs, where crazy stuff can happen and does happen quite often. But TVP, at least for the first part of the game, is pretty, and has been for a while, a couple of years now. And that's, I'd say, strategically, overall, that's a pretty stale matchup to watch. So, not very much of an innovation is coming into this matchup as opposed to the other ones. And I think it's well, I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, football hasn't changed for like 200 years, and you know, people are still watching it. So and it's still fun to play. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It's just that some people don't appreciate the nuances and the little things that start to inevitably appear and seep into the matchup as you go along and try to perfect the game.
Yeah, that can be very exciting to see for players who are very adept at the game. But if you're a beginning player and you don't know all these fine tweaks that people are making, then I can imagine that it starts getting stale if you see the same types of strategies all the time. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, every now and again you see a Protoss player that does something revolutionary, like for example when Horror of the Swarm came out, MC with his Oracle builds, or more recently Zest with his War Prison play versus Terran players. But for the most part, most Protosses are sticking to playing the same stuff over and over and over again. But when you do see revolution in the making, or innovation, should I say, then you know, it's so thrilling to watch, because it's like, wait a minute, what? You can do this? You know, like you see somebody do something that's never been done before, and you go like, how is this possible? And it's so exciting to watch.
Definitely. That's like when in footballs, some coach puts 5 players in the defense, or what was it again? I don't know. Some football coach, I think it was the Dutch one, thought up a new system. That was innovative. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. But of course, in StarCraft, the strategic changes and the tactical changes are much more exciting to watch than those in football.
Oh yeah, definitely. Reaper goes down before getting any scouting whatsoever. Let's see.
Nice.
Oh, uThermal doesn't know anything. And it's going to be a robo facility, so no Stargates. Stargates, by the way, are pretty popular on this map, but he does follow that up with a scan.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So uThermal needs to use this scan because his Reaper didn't do anything. This is bad for a couple of reasons. Because say he got some gas for the Reaper, then he got the gas for nothing, and also had to spend energy on a scan, which could have been used on a mule. So that's a win for NEEK.
Wait a minute. This can be actually pretty deadly here for NEEK. uThermal open up with a 3 racks, and he's going to do a pretty aggressive push with Marauders as well. NEEK is going to have to be ready for this.
Does he have concussive shell for his Marauders?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Okay.
No. No upgrades there, and NEEK is going with the double forges now.
Ooh.
That and a robo facility and a robo base, so that means he'll be staying on one gateway for a very long time.
That means he cannot lose any of these units that he
Exactly.
has right now.
He cannot afford to lose those Stalkers, and the fact that he's rushing for those forges, for those upgrades, and the Colossi means that he's at 0 sentries right now, and this is going to be pretty difficult for him to defend. He has to buy time, enough time for that Colossus to come in, and even then, he has to make sure the Colossus does not go down. Look at this, so late gateways.
Classic Protoss, just waiting for that one unit to come out and save the day.
Yeah, but he's not going to have enough of a supporting gateway army. The gateways have only been added just now, and he's supply blocked as well.
Oh god, yeah, the supply block. This is one of the worst times to be supply blocked. Definitely. uThermal's still streaming in some reinforcements, but I think that's about the end of it. He's transitioning into more of a factory, and starport's coming up now, actually. So I think this is going to be push number 1 to test the waters. Here we go.
If he can get at the Colossus, there's no range yet, and all the force fields have been expanded already.
Wow.
If he can get at the Colossus and snipe it, which, you know, NEEK, understandably, is going to be very, very careful of exposing, that could propel uThermal towards an early victory here. But NEEK is being too careful.
Okay, uThermal pulls back, so what he did was force 2 Nexus cannons. Photon overcharges.
Yeah.
Which means that this mothership core is not going to have enough energy for anything else for a little while. So that is a kind of a win for uThermal. Actually, there's more units from uThermal streaming out. He is going to continue this push right away. And he actually puts down a factory halfway down the map. Why is that?
Huh. If he wants to go for a third base, it might be to limit the surface area for the Zealots later on.
Okay.
Because it seems to me that, you know, with the double forge, you can go for Archons, Charge Lots, and Colossi. No Storm, just. But you need 3 bases for that. You can stay on 2 for a little while, but ultimately you're going to be needing 3 bases. And if that's the case, pretty much a lot of Marauders and Vikings will solve all your problems as a Terran player. I think uThermal is going to be... Is he making SCVs? Yeah, he's still making SCVs. He's at 51 now.
Oh, there's a drop in the base of NEEK right now, and this drop might do a lot of damage.
Yeah, but here come the Colossi. How many probes have been down so far? 6 probes have been killed.
Oh, but he's getting himself into a corner?
He can pick up and fly away.
Okay. Yeah,
that was smart. Splitting up the drop, but there's a warping of Zealots, and that will solve the main base.
Look at this though. They're still in the So the main is okay, but this is, you know, in terms of keeping a player busy, this is what you should be doing.
Yeah, exactly, and you know, also uThermal knows exactly where the army of his opponent is. He knows there are no observers as well. Not here, anyways. He's looking for them, scanning everywhere. And he knows there are no observers with this army, so he... Oh, there comes one.
Yeah.
There's one.
Got it.
So there's the third base from uThermal. I was just about to say that he's still been making SCVs, so as long as he's making SCVs, he's not going to be pulling them. He did get the third command center down. He's working on his double upgrades as well, but a very late armory puts a stop to that and allows the Protoss player to get ahead. And instead of charge, NEEK is going with Blink, so he might be going for a very, very strong 2-base push here. Adding on 3 additional gateways, no third Nexus. How many Vikings does uThermal have? 2 Vikings only! Oh, this is... If NEEK pushes with 4 Colossi right now with these upgrades, it's gonna be tough.
Ooh, oh, and he loses one of the medevacs with a few units in there as well. Okay, so the push, the drops seem to have been held off right now, and there's a huge force, like you said, on the map with a lot of Colossi. Danger time for uThermal. Yeah, supplies are pretty much even as well.
Is there a probe with this army though? Yeah, there is a probe with this army, so NEEK is definitely going for the attack. uThermal is working only off of 2 starports actually, but no second reactor on the second one.
Here we go.
Producing Vikings 3 at a time.
Army movement will be scouted right now with this one Marine actually, and by the scan as well. So uThermal knows exactly what there is on what is on the move and where it is.
Now it's imperative for him to position his army correctly.
Yeah, he's pulling his drops back actually. The drops that he had positioned over the main base, he's pulling them back.
Yeah, he's going to need all the units he can get his hands on. Finally queuing up the 2-2 upgrades. Unfortunately for him, the Protoss already has those finished. And look at this, NEEK not feeling very confident that he can get away with this, gets a third base up as he warps in more units.
But still, this is going to be a very tough push for uThermal. Oh, look at this, blink and immediately takes out, just one Viking, but still, 4 Colossi.
Oh, uThermal not with the very best of concaves. He's been pushed back into a corner.
These force fields are going to wreak havoc on uThermal's position, and there we go, uThermal, or NEEK just milks or kills off a lot of SCP that moved up right away. The Colossi are falling though. There's plenty of Vikings here.
Yeah.
Danger time for NEEK.
And NEEK will have to back off. I mean, he can continue warping in Zealots if he wants to and hope that he can push through this. I don't think he can at this point. I mean, that went a lot better for uThermal than I ever imagined it would.
I think the amount of Vikings that all of a sudden were there just changed the engagement a lot.
Not only that, but NEEK also, those Colossi were firing at small group of infantry in the bottom, and we're not focusing at the big group in the top in the natural base. Right. So all the Colossi volleys essentially were wasted on units that were no threat to the big Protoss army.
Definitely, this is tough. Do you think uThermal can finish it off?
Right no, I don't think he should be able to. I mean, a couple of Guardian Shields and more Zealot Warpins should solve this trouble. Remember, Protoss is up on upgrades, but uThermal is doing a good job kiting back, and reinforcements are coming in from the south. Even if Vikings are landing, here comes another Colossus being targeted down by the Vikings immediately. Does NEEK have enough? It looks to be very, very, very close. Still a lot of Marauders on the ground. Let's take a look at the Viking count. It's down to 0. uThermal exchanged all of his Vikings for this and did not get much done.
And supply counts are dead even once again.
Yeah, so, despite the huge blunder, well, maybe not a huge blunder, but the mistake in engagement that happened to NEEK a little while ago, I think he's still pretty good off, all things considered.
I think you're right. Okay, but so uThermal is now happily mining on 3 bases. Same goes for NEEK, but NEEK's saturation on his 3rd base is not as good as uThermal's. And uThermal also mining gas at his 3rd base, which NEEK is not doing right now.
Yeah, and if you think about it, gases are more important for Protoss players than they are for Terrans at this stage.
Especially if the Terran is not meching.
Yeah, exactly.
So uThermal has all the gas he needs, whereas NEEK could use a lot more. There we go, 2 gases, 2 assimilators being thrown down at the 3rd base. Good call.
Yeah, it's almost...
Drop being scouted by a pylon, yes. If NEEK was paying attention, he might have seen that little dropship.
There are actually 2 dropships. One is on the left side of the map and the other one is on the right. NEEK is going to completely miss both of those. He also does not have any units back home. He's getting the Temple Archives. Maybe he'll just add on Archons, and maybe he'll transition into Stone. We'll have to see. He knows about the 3rd base of uThermal. Will he be able to defend those drops here in the main base and the 3rd?
The main base has been dealt with a Zealot Warpin, but the 3rd is a bit of a problem. But the main army is arriving soon. I hope there's an observer with that main army though, because there's a Widow Mine inside the mineral line right now.
Well, he should. At least I hope he does.
Dropping the main base, also still doing damage. Those Zealots were just, picking their nose or something.
Yeah, laying down on the job.
Oh, look at this! At the 3rd base, Oh, he moved those probes out of the way just in time.
Yeah, he did notice that. He brought that observer from the main base actually to detect that Widow Mine. But there's another one buried in the main mineral line. Not that there's anything to mine there, so it's probably not going to do all that much. Oh, gets 1 probe from the gas, but at this point, uThermal is just being obnoxious and tries to throw NEEK off his game. Pretty much the only point of harassment, other than you want to kill the economy of your opponent, is distraction and pretty much disrupting your infrastructure, your supply lines. It's the same as in the real war. So
wow, look at that.
Yeah, 3 Colossi, but the Viking count should be higher than it was just a couple minutes ago. 8 Vikings, 2 Ghosts. With good EMPs, this army will effectively lose over a third of its hit points if those
Alright.
EMPs hit.
I got a small question. I just saw the watchtower got taken out, right? There was a marine from uThermal at the watchtower, but there was also a supply depot right next to the watchtower. Why is there a supply depot right next to the watchtower? Is that just because there was an SCV there and he needed a supply depot and he just told the SCV to build it there? Or
well, it could be because when the watchtower is being contested by 2 units, that supply depot gives you vision.
Is that so? Is it really?
Yeah, I think that could be the reason. Or just, you know, if you don't have the watchtower and you have a supply depot nearby, it gives you advanced warning on the positioning of your opponent's army. 4th base being taken by NEEK. That's a big move here, and oh my god.
Yeah.
Here come
I
the
see what
boys.
you mean.
Here come the boys. All the boys, in fact.
Jesus.
Natural, main, 3rd. Only the 3rd is mining, actually. And this could work, you know. No storm on the field.
No, he needs good position.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Look at the concave.
But you know what? No force fields, no storms. This is going to be super effective for uThermal as is pushing forward. Is wiping out all the Protoss units and taking the series.
My computer.